Now that you've chosen one, all assaults are being retaliated in real time, and your adversaries are falling like flies. It is not superstition that is taking place. It is judgment carried out by spiritual law. They are precisely bouncing off the exact energy that they use to harm you. You didn't need to strike back. You didn't even need to say anything. The frequency that spoke for justice was the quiet they derided. Sacred constraint was what they saw as weakness. And reversal is usually preceded by constraint. The fact that the selected are never the victims of war is something they are now discovering too late. They serve as evidence that no weapon created against divine will endure. Something didn't feel right. Around you, people began to behave strangely. Overnight, friends grew apart. Family members were aloof for no apparent reason. Friendly co-workers started acting dangerously toward you. When you walked in, the rooms became silent. People stopped talking in the middle of sentences. People looked at each other, assuming you wouldn't notice. You began to doubt yourself. Perhaps you were dreaming. Perhaps you had paranoia. Perhaps you were the issue that everyone appeared to believe you were. You began to question your own understanding of reality since the gaslighting was so successful. But the truth was still being spoken by your soul. This wasn't a random occurrence. This was planned. They had been getting together on a regular basis to talk about your ruin. Strategy meetings, planning sessions, and agendas bearing your name. First, your adversaries attempted everything in the physical world, spreading untruths that are intended to damage your reputation, destroying chances that were rightfully yours, using well-crafted falsehoods to turn others against you. However, nothing remained. You continued to rise. You continued to flourish. You continued to shine brighter, whatever was thrown at you. At that point, your adversaries made a disastrous choice, venturing further into areas that need to be avoided, contacting practitioners who operate in the shadows, investing funds in services that offered outcomes that were certain. For this, some people sold parts of their souls. You are being attacked from all sides at once by many practitioners, techniques, and traditions. Your adversaries believe that by overpowering your defenses from many angles, something would eventually get through, identifying a single weakness to take advantage of a fracture in your armor. Your adversaries were unaware that you were not shielded by good fortune. Forces that existed before time started protected you. This is what set you apart from everyone else that your adversaries had managed to eliminate before you. Your lineage. Your forefathers were not only observing from the afterlife. Your forebears were active warriors who had spent many lives training for this very moment. Your forefathers used every possible defense as the onslaught became more intense. Your case was given to angels. Warrior angels, not guardian angels. Pure light beings with a focus on spiritual combat, keeping a steady barrier around your energy field while working in shifts. When a curse is directed against you, it strikes this barrier and returns to the sender. You have no idea how many threads your lineage guardians pulled. Inexplicably, doors that ought to have closed remained open. Unexpected opportunities continued to present themselves when they should have dried up. At the last minute, those who ought to have betrayed you were unable to carry out their plans. Accidents that were intended for you somehow fell flat. However, your greatest defense was something your adversaries never anticipated. Light from inside. Any energy transmitted is instantly reflected back when a person is genuinely linked to the energy of the divine source, acting as a spiritual mirror. Your energy blueprint includes it. You must comprehend the specific nature of what is taking place. So, allow me to describe how this mirror effect works. When someone settles down to work against you, something starts the instant your name is mentioned maliciously. The completion of the spell is not a wait for your spiritual protection system. It doesn't wait for the ceremony to be over. The reversal starts as soon as malicious intent surround your name. Thought of binding you while lighting candles, however the bond ends up wrapping around the sender. Putting your name on paper will make your life more confusing. However, before the ink dries, confusion creeps into the sender's own thoughts, requesting that your blessings be blocked by entities. However, the blessings from the giver are blocked by those same organizations. The return is doubled rather than equal to the transaction. Compound return is the foundation of spiritual law. Negative energy is increased when it is directed at someone who is protected by God. 3 curses return after one is hurled. 5 come back after one assault. Your adversaries are not favored by the mathematical principles of divine justice. It's likely that you've seen odd trends in the rate at which lives are disintegrating around you. One individual unexpectedly loses their job. Overnight, another person's relationship falls apart. A third has unforeseen legal problems. A fourth has health issues that medical professionals are unable to identify. They are all linked to the same source. Everything worked against you. Every action taken against you has been documented by your ancestors. Every meeting revolved around you. Every practitioner that was employed, every dollar spent on attempts to ruin you, every word that was spoken against you, and every idea that was harbored about your disaster. It was all perfectly accurate when recorded in the spiritual world. The ledger is now balancing itself. Every individual is getting back just what was put out, precisely measured, divinely timed, and supplied without any mistakes. Some are attempting to determine the reason for the unexpected shift in luck. Why everything that is touched turns to dust. Why those who were previously trusted are leaving the ship. The reasons for the disappearance of money. Why health is deteriorating. The cosmos has been meticulously documenting everything. Every assault, deception, and malicious purpose. Nothing was overlooked or ignored. The bill is now due. Some of you are now living under a false name. When you were young, documents were taken. Birth certificates were changed. They exchanged social security numbers. Your true identity was erased by a member of your own family. Why would somebody take such drastic measures? Because your true name has power that no one can take away. Nobody can overrule the authority that comes from your true lineage. You have access to resources, inheritance, and knowledge because of your genuine ancestry. Some fervently want to conceal them from you. Consider severing your spiritual legacy by altering your identity on paper. Considering cutting off your ties to old power. Energy is truthful. DNA is not forgetful. Blood has memory. No matter what the papers say, your ancestors know precisely who you are. Whatever name you go by, the world knows your actual frequency. That explains why you've always sensed things wasn't quite right. You didn't quite fit in with your own family, for example. As if everyone knew secrets that you were unaware of. As if parts of your past were never quite right. There was no paranoia there. That's when your soul realized the lie. Now is the time for some of you to start asking tough questions, requesting DNA testing, and looking through family documents. Because your true name appears on legal inheritances, trust money, real estate, and other things that are legally yours. Relationships with bloodlines that would transform everything. Right now, the folks who took your identity are in a panic. Being aware that their deception is about to be revealed. Becoming aware that you are beginning to pose questions that no one can respond to. Being aware that criminal charges will follow the revelation of the facts. And being aware that nothing can stop what is about to happen. This is the most painful area. A few people of your own family took an active part. Active participants rather than passive spectators. Meetings for planning took place at homes where you had supper. People who said they loved you spoke about strategies. Blood relations grinned in your face while making decisions that would destroy you, while secretly devising a plan. A trauma more profound than anything outsiders could do is created when your own blood turns against you. Every memory from childhood is called into question. It seems like a deception during every family get-together. Presumptive love seems like a show at all times. But pay close attention to this. In a spiritual sense, the individuals who deceived you were never really your family. Family means unwavering commitment. Protection that is always effective. Sincere caring without restrictions. You were shown a biological relationship without an emotional connection. The spiritual world is where your true family is. Ancestors who really and unconditionally love you. You will immediately know your soul family, even if you haven't met them yet. Heavenly creatures that have been keeping watch on you since birth. And this is what the betrayers are going to experience. Betraying their own lineage, they were breaking one of the most revered spiritual rules. That is not taken lightly in the cosmos. Their kids are going to rebel against them. Their unions will disintegrate. Their money will collapse. They will become less healthy. They will reveal their secrets to the world. Certain forces were activated, not because of anything you did to them, because the rules governing reality itself were violated, and is dealing with repercussions that are a part of life. Their world is falling apart right now. Sensing what is about to happen, the practitioners who stole their money are no longer willing to deal with them. Others are even cautioning them to cease right now before it's too late. However, pride prevents them from stopping. Previously strong relationships are eroding. Family members who participated in the scams are turning away. Overnight, business alliances are breaking apart. Unexpected sources are causing legal issues to grow. Physical bodies are showing signs of health problems. Deception is the foundation of everything that is collapsing. I realize that I made a terrible mistake when I came for you, but it's too late to undo the damage already done. This is what your adversaries never figured out. Energy is created by every detrimental activity and must be balanced. The energy does not just vanish when someone casts curses that do not adhere to the target. Like hurling a ball against a brick wall, it bounces back with more power. The quicker it returns, the harder the throw, launching spiritual assaults against your heavenly defense for a long period. At the same time, all of that stored energy is coming back. Some may have unexpected medical crises that physicians are unable to explain. Others will lose all of their hard-earned money in a matter of weeks. Relationships are going to fail. There will be revelations of secrets. There will be further legal issues. There will be a breakdown in mental stability. The person who set up the meetings against you is suffering from sleeplessness that no one can get rid of. Anxiety surges through the system each moment the eyelids shut. Paranoid ideas fly through my head, making me jump at shadows and feel like I'm being watched all the time. That is the misunderstanding intended to make you return home. Bank accounts are inexplicably disappearing for the person who engaged the first practitioner. Unexpected costs continue to surface. Money vanishes more quickly than anybody can follow it. Last-minute opportunities that were banked on fail. The basis of finances is collapsing. That poverty is intended to condemn you for going back to the source. Nobody can manage the turbulence in the connection with the family member that deceived you. Partners start to doubt everything. Youngsters being aloof and chilly. Friends stop phoning. Feeling alone and secluded. Boomeranging back. That's the solitude you were intended for. The colleague who ruined your chances is going to lose their job. Workplace reputation is inexplicably declining. In meetings, people steer clear of them. Concepts are disregarded. Projects end in failure. It's the professional devastation that was planned for you. Completing a circle. Customized justice is being served to all parties. Generic punishment is not used in the cosmos. Giving back precisely what was attempted on you, but with more emphasis. The accuracy is exquisite. The time is ideal. The delivery is perfect. Nobody is able to stop it. Trying everything. Returning to practitioners and pleading for safety. Donning protective amulets. Taking spiritual baths. Burning sage. And carrying out cleaning rites. You cannot shield yourself from the repercussions of your own choices. Thus, nothing works. You cannot stop the energy you release from coming back. Some are recalling what was done and beginning to make connections. When it began, who was targeted, and how the time frame fits in exactly. Immediately, with the escalation of assaults on you, everything began to collapse. However, nobody can stop what is about to happen even with this knowledge. The professionals who collaborated with them are gradually retreating. These practitioners are sufficiently spiritually observant, should observe the situation and identify the telltale signs of divine vengeance, being aware that anybody connected to this circumstance is in danger. Thus, severing connections, returning money in certain situations, going missing in others, declining calls, and want to avoid any involvement with the aftermath. And I have no understanding why everything is now coming apart. The worst aspect is that some people will accuse you of doing evil things to them, accusing you of the identical actions they took against you. However, the truth will be apparent to anybody with true spiritual insight. You won't have to protect yourself. The proof will do the talking. Their stories will become warnings about why you don't attack those who are protected by God. Observe them scurrying. Observe their terror. Observe their attempts to repair the unfixable. Because there is no turning back once certain spiritual principles have been activated. No reset is possible. There's no turning back. The only way ahead is to face the repercussions made for themselves. It is not a random set of people with personal grievances that you are dealing with. There's a lot bigger connection here. For generations, there have been secret groups, hateful orders that are passed down from one generation to the next, organizations with a hierarchy, norms, and structure. Most people cannot fathom the resources these organizations possess. High-ranking government contacts, corporate financing from unidentified sources, global networks that span across continents, following your lineage for hundreds of years, maintaining documentation, observing, waiting, and stepping in to keep everything under control. Everyone has members, judges who have an impact on results, lawmakers who alter legislation, executives in business who manage opportunities, religious leaders who influence stories, people who, without anybody recognizing the pattern, use systems against those they have picked. Because of this, some of you had to deal with illogically challenging legal fights, bureaucratic calamities that are meant to irritate you, systems that malfunctioned when you attempted to use them, yet functioned well for everyone else. No human institution can compare to the amount of divine protection. When someone is covered by heaven, spiritual laws take precedence over worldly laws. Resources and connections are meaningless, while operating in opposition to creation's basic framework. Public exposure of some of these society members is imminent. There will be scandals that expose the real self. There will be recordings and leaks of confidential discussions. There will be private discussions. We'll look at financial transactions. The whole network is on the verge of going down. Some of you are still unaware of this. You just sense that you feel different. Others do not see what you do. You wonder what other people accept. Downloads have been coming in for years. Dreams about ancient societies. Future timeline visions. Sudden comprehension of the energy system. Unexpected abilities that seem natural. You've been attempting to interpret everything, not understanding that you were getting ready for something more significant than you had anticipated. When you completely activate, the adversary is aware of your entire potential. Observing predictions about individuals similar to you. Being aware of the chronology. Becoming aware of it once you fully assume your job. Their time is over. I'll tell you what I see when I look at you, and it scares me. An individual who cannot be purchased, coerced, intimidated, controlled, or silenced by traditional methods. You endanger whole systems because of this. Keeping people tiny was the foundation of empires. On persuading people that a small number of people have the power. On maintaining structures that favor a select few. On concealing information that might liberate the people. Then, with ancient codes ingrained in your blood, you seem to be strolling about, bringing with them secrets that might destroy everything, constructed throughout many ages. Simply by being among them, you have the power to awaken individuals. For so long, the frequency of the control broadcast is disrupted by your energy alone. Truth resonates in people's bones when you tell it. Others begin to challenge narratives when you do. Others discover bravery when you don't bow. To get up. Because of this, efforts were made to destroy you before you had a complete understanding of who you were. Desiring to take you out when you were still unsure of yourself, still confused, and yet holding false beliefs about your limits. Believing that you would give up and go away if someone struck you hard enough too soon. In your field, you carry frequencies. Those that are close to you will be immediately healed. You are not required to attempt. It's not necessary to conduct therapeutic sessions. The indoctrination that others are under starts to disintegrate just by your presence. This explains why some individuals have strong reactions to you without understanding why. The control systems built into them are in danger from your energy. You're able to recognize dishonesty right away. Pretty words and phony grins won't mislead you. Energy may be read. You sense purpose. Before sentences are completed, You can tell whether someone is lying. You are thus a danger to everyone who is acting dishonestly. Nobody is able to enter your circle. Nobody has the ability to control you from inside. Lifetimes of being chased down for your talents have left you with memories stored in your cells. From having your information incinerated, from having your truth hushed, you return from this life stronger, more protected, with a clearer goal, and determined to never be stopped again. The adversary is aware that they have been following your family for many generations, keeping documentation of the gifts that are inherited. The truth-tellers, healers, seers, and system disruptors, attempting to spread these characteristics via identity theft, marriages, family dissolution, and child concealment. From our ancestry, DNA, however, is not forgetful. Spiritual inheritance endures. Your cells retain every detail of your past, even if you are unaware of it. And all of that latent knowledge comes to life at the designated moment. That's what you're going through right now. Everyone sought to stop the waking, the activation that was dreaded. For this reason, attention was drawn to stopping you in particular. The issue with divine destiny, however, is this: who opposes it is irrelevant. In any case, it will occur. You may attempt to flee it yourself, and yet find yourself at the very spot you were meant to be. You're not a stranger. You're not a coincidence. You are more than simply a mere survivalist. The core of corruption is directly targeted by you as a weapon. You were dispatched to release the captives as a codebreaker. You are so brilliant that it hurts eyes used to the dark. And when they look at you, everyone sees all of this. The despair stems from this. Everything was thrown at you for that reason. As a result of their strikes failing, adversaries are now falling like flies. Examine your family's past. How many generations were affected by the same trends? Poverty regardless of one's level of effort. No one could overcome the addiction, illness that runs in the family, recurring dysfunction in relationships. How many forefathers felt that they were engaged in unwinnable, unseen conflicts? All of it is going to cease because of you. Not only for you, but for everyone in your family who follows you. The curse ends with you. After this, the pattern is rewritten. Your life will be remembered by future generations as the moment when everything changed. Attacks have been particularly severe because of this. Lifting the curses of generations is no easy task. Someone with sufficient spiritual strength is needed to combat millennia worth of bad energy. Someone having sufficient heavenly support to change behaviors that have been set over a lifetime. You are altering more than simply your own life. You are completely changing the course of your family's history, present, and future. Even though your ancestors battled, prayed, fought hard, and attempted to break free, they were constantly drawn back into the cycle. Awareness of poverty, cycles of addiction, traumatic relationships, physical problems, mental disease, and spiritual oppression. Their lifetime was not the beginning of these tendencies. It was inherited, transmitted like genetic code, initiated by certain events, activated at particular ages, reinforced by family conduct, and amplified by repetition, until the whole lineage adopted the pattern as its identity. It was handled by your great-great-grandparent. It was handled by your great-grandparent. Your grandma took care of it. It was handled by your parent, and you were supposed to handle it as well. To acknowledge it as the current state of affairs in your household. To accept the challenge as inevitable. To eventually pass it on to your own offspring. However, something within of you resisted accepting that fate. Even though you whispered it quietly in your heart, something inside of you said, "No, not me. Not this lifetime. Not anymore. This ends here." Your forefathers and the cosmos both heard you, and forces you couldn't comprehend started working for you. You must become aware of patterns you were meant to remain unaware of in order to break these curses. What earlier generations were unable to perceive, you had to see. What your forefathers were unable to question, you had to question. Rules that others could not breach had to be broken by you. You had to leave behind those that your ancestry could not leave behind. When everyone was indoctrinated to sacrifice themselves, you had to make your own decision. The curse is threatened by this awareness alone, because unconsciousness is how curses endure. via individuals accepting situations without considering their origins, through unconscious repetition, through taught helplessness, through silence, through shame, through hidden secrets. The curse began to fade as you began to awaken. The foundation broke when you began to ask questions. The framework crumbled as you began to establish limits. The trend broke when you began making diverse choices. And everyone who had a stake in keeping that curse in place freaked out. Because others may also break free if you do. Others may question if healing is feasible if you're able to heal. People may wonder whether you succeed, why your family's success was deemed unattainable. Others may discover that serenity is possible if you find it. Your liberation proves that the curse can be lifted, and it puts everyone who gains from your lineage at risk of becoming cursed. You now have a better understanding of the burden you bear. You are also breaking the curse for your ancestors who were unable to break it, for every curse you break for yourself. You are cutting ties and tracing your family's history. Trapped spirits are being released by you. Generations' worth of wounds are being healed by you. You are expressing realities that have been kept quiet for generations. Your great-great-grandparent felt like a failure and passed away at an early age. They are being vindicated by you. One of your great-grandparents battled addiction. When you attempt to stop, you are finishing what you began. Your grandparents remained in a violent cohabitation. By not repeating their quiet pain, you are paying tribute to it. Your parents put forth endless hours of labor for nothing. The grip of poverty they were living under is being broken by you. From the other side, every ancestor who was never given the opportunity to escape is supporting you. You are transferring energy through time itself for every future descendant who will live in freedom as a result of you. You're fighting for more than just yourself. Your whole heritage, past, present, and future, is at stake in this battle. This is understood by those who are attempting to stop you. They will no longer have any influence on your family line if you're successful. Being aware that other bloodlines will begin to awaken as well, emulating you. Their own curse is being broken, attempting to put an end to a spiritual movement. And the spark that starts the fire is you. However, it's too late. It is impossible to undo the process that has already started. All throughout the planet, other chosen ones are waking up. At the same time, the general awareness is changing, regardless of whether it is liked or not. You're not alone in this. All of your ancestors who attempted but failed to finish it are behind you. Every generation that will come after you will support you. Forces that existed before the curse was ever made are protecting you. The curse isn't permanent. Your lineage is everlasting, and the eternal always triumphs over the transient. The fact that you stand for future generations is one of the reasons you have been subjected to such intense attacks. Today's babies come into the world with skills and knowledge that earlier generations did not have, arriving already awake in ways that older souls have to work for decades to accomplish. These kids will need mentors who are knowledgeable about both the old and the emerging worlds. Mentors who made it through a fire without harm. Teachers with personal experience who understand the tactics of spiritual battle. One of those guidelines is what you are being trained to be. You became smarter and stronger with each assault you survived. You learned to recognize dishonesty from every betrayal. You learned the true nature of spiritual protection from every spell that was used against you. These kids won't have to contend with the restrictive ideas that have hampered human progress for millennia. They have known from birth that they are strong spiritual beings with human experiences, assuming that miracles would always occur. These children cannot be controlled by the outdated methods, needing guidance from mentors who can help them navigate a society that accepts and values spiritual ability. Need case studies of individuals who have effectively shifted from the previous worldview to the new one. You are that. That's your job. That's why you've been so completely protected. For what is ahead, the universe wants you whole and alert. Your legacy will include every youngster who grows up aware of their own strength. Your adversaries are also aware of this future, being aware that these children's rule would end forever once they become adults. Because of this, there was a desperate attempt to stop you before you could completely assume your teaching position. However, it's too late. The kids are here already, gaining more and more each day, as well as already picking up tips from your example. Your success was never in doubt, regardless of whether you were intentionally teaching or not. Even before the conflict started, the result was known. There are forces that existed before time started and will continue to exist when time ends to protect you as a chosen one. You're not looking for retribution. You don't take pride in failure. You don't even observe devastation. Keep to your lane. You continue to increase your frequency. You continue to put love ahead of fear. The rest is left to the cosmos to take care of itself. Justice doesn't need your assistance. All it requires is for you to move aside. Some of you will feel pressured to warn others in order to protect those who have been attempting to ruin you for years. Don't do that. Decisions were made well-informed. There must be repercussions. Seeing life fall apart will make others want to rejoice. Avoid it as well. Remain in your heart. Show empathy while establishing firm limits on what you will put up with moving future. Getting ready for your new reality is the most crucial thing you can do at this moment. After the resistance is gone, begin to design the life you want to create. Start preparing for your intended role in the developing world. Concentrate on becoming into the person you were destined to be. Recognize a crucial aspect of the time you are in. Your actual job is just getting started, but the combat is ended. Before you could fulfill your role, attempts were made to stop you. Unsuccessful efforts. You must now really enter it. Many selected ones falter at this point because you had a justification for not using your full strength as long as you were struggling to survive. That justification is no longer valid. The adversaries have fallen. The sender has received the assaults back. The protection has turned out to be unwavering. Now, the only thing separating you and your destiny is your own hesitancy, uncertainty, and fear of becoming as strong as you really are. Let me tell you straight, you weren't shielded by the cosmos to play little throughout all of that. Your peaceful, pleasant existence was not the result of your forefathers engaging in multidimensional combat. The kids who were waiting for your leadership did not choose you to be their mentor, so you could have self-doubt. There's a reason you were formed in fire. Your voice should not be silenced, hushed, or excused. It must be heard. Heard. Your talents should not be kept to yourself, nor should they be underestimated or discounted. Shared. You must use your power rather than repress it, be afraid of it, or deny it. Wielded. No one else is needed in the world. Making people feel at ease by playing tiny. The world needs you to be completely strong, fully expressive, and fully active. Occupying space without apology. Expressing the truth without authorization. Taking the lead without seeking permission. With each adversary who fell, a barrier was eliminated. Each strike that came back to the sender broke a chain. With each boomerang, a restriction was lifted. You are not going to come out of this fight hurt. You are stronger than ever after this combat, having been improved, sharpened, and updated. The cult is breaking apart. The coven is dispersed. The practitioners are running away. Spells aren't working. Plans are falling apart. Their allotted time is up, and you have only just begun. Everything you have spent many lives preparing for is about to happen. What you came here to provide is what the world is waiting for. They're falling like flies, your opponents. Nobody can halt the impending onslaught, and all attacks are being retaliated. Through you today, chosen one, welcome to your destiny. It's the end of the unseen conflict. Without even battling, you prevailed. Now embrace everything that you were destined to be. You have always held the throne. Quit requesting permission. Give up questioning your abilities. Don't be so modest. When you do recall, the cosmos yields to your will. Who you are. Now is your time. Now is your moment. This is your triumph. You have become stronger as a result of everything that attempted to stop you. You are now indestructible because of everything that attempted to break you. Your light has only grown brighter despite all that attempted to dampen it. You are destined to be just that. You made it through precisely what you were supposed to. You're standing just where you should be. And what follows will demonstrate why it was all worthwhile. The assaults are finished. The adversaries have been vanquished. The curses are back. It has turned out to be complete protection. Proceed toward your objective now. with the assurance of someone who understands that support comes from unstoppable forces. Because you have always been and always will be. From the moment of your birth till long after this existence is over. You won't win. It's here. Your time is not coming. Now is the time. Potential is not your power. It's there. Don't wait for approval to be yourself. Give up questioning your knowledge. Don't conceal your burdens. The world has been anticipating your arrival, and you just gotten rid of everyone who was trying to stop you. It's this. Everything has been accumulating toward this point. Not someday, not tomorrow. Now today. It's not luck that you survived everything. It is no accident that you're standing at this threshold. This is destiny coming to pass just as it was predetermined. Go ahead and take what is rightfully yours. Turn and become the person you've always been, and see everything you were promised come to pass. In front of your eyes. The cosmos is prepared. Your forefathers are prepared. The kids are prepared. This is the only question that remains. Are you prepared to quit pretending to be someone you're not, and to embrace your own self? Because the invitation has been sent out whether it is ready or not. The way is now obvious. The adversaries have fallen. Your throne is also ready.